I'm going to rate the different note-taking strategies and help you decide what's the best for you. So I have been trying out some cool note-taking strategies, and by God's grace, I finally ended up with one single strategy. As I went through this process, I have filtered the top 5 note-taking strategies for you, but you want the number 1, right? So I'm going to give my ratings for them as we go, helping you decide what's the best for you. The one at the end of this video is what I love the most, and I believe it is a technique which is most efficient, so watch till the end. Method number 1, Cornell method. So Cornell method is simple. Basically, it is divided into 4 sections. The top line will represent the heading, the middle left side will represent the questions, the right side will represent the various answers to the corresponding questions, and the bottom is the summary. So basically, in this technique, what you will be doing is that as you attend the lecture, as you are listening to the class, put on the heading of the topic first. For example, let's say cardiovascular system. You're writing out cardiovascular system at the top, and then in the left side, you're starting out with questions. So what is heart? What is blood vessel? And on the right side, you're creating answers for them. So heart is this thing in the center of your body, which pumps blood, it is a muscular organ, and all those things. So once we are done with this, once you fill out this whole page, summarize this whole page in 2 or 3 sentences at the bottom place. So this basically is the structure of Cornell note-taking method. And here, while revising, what you will be doing is that you're going to hide the answers with your hand and just check the questions. And once you check it, you will know the memory gaps, and it will help you fill the memory gaps at the very moment. So these are the various categories in which I'll be rating them. First, for active recall, definitely it is helping us active recall. If you don't know what is active recall, do check out the video that is shown somewhere here. And space repetition, not really, but however, I'll still give 0.5 because we can do it, but it is not that easy. Then time efficiency, not really, because writing all those things, so I'm going to give it 0.5. And coming to the last, is it easy to revise? It is extremely easy to revise, so I'll give this 1 star. By the way, if you're new here, I am Rohit PVR, a second year medical student, and basically I make videos regarding whatever sounds nerdy, like academics and maybe little drops of spirituality, maybe in the future. So if this sounds like your cup of tea, then do subscribe. Method number 2 is writing out your own questions. This is something that I use towards the final part of my first year of medical school. I won't be writing whatever the faculty is telling. I'll be just creating the questions of whatever the faculty is saying. For example, if the faculty is explaining about heart, I'll not write everything about heart. Rather, I'll be asking myself questions. I'll simply write out the questions. What is heart? What is present on the right side? What is present on the left side? I'll be asking such questions to myself. And once when I come back to home, I'll refer these questions, and then I'll refer my book alongside. So now coming to the rating, active recall, definitely 1 star. Space repetition, it is the same as for Cornell note-taking method. So I'll give it 0.5. Is it time efficient? Definitely yes, because it is almost like you're doing nothing. You're just simply writing questions, you're going to the book, referring, answering, rechecking, and filling in the memory gaps. So it is really time efficient. Is it easy to revise? I'll give this a 0 because you only have the list of questions on one side, and then it is really cumbersome. So going to the next technique, it is underline and highlighting. Underlining and highlighting is one of the least efficient study techniques, but however, here we are talking about note-taking, which basically is storage of information. So I would say that underlining and note-taking is a decent way to store information. When the faculty is teaching, you can just go through your book, just simply underline and highlight whatever the faculty is saying, maybe add few points here and there, and then once you get back to your home, you're not going to see other text in the book. You're simply going to read whatever is underlined and whatever is highlighted by you. So by this, you're reducing the vast amounts of information in your book to just the high yield facts. So coming to the rating, active recall, definitely not, 0. Space repetition, again definitely not, 0. Time efficient, absolutely time efficient. I mean, you're literally just going through a book, simply writing, highlighting, that's it, that's your job. So this is the most time efficient note-taking method, so I'll give this 1. Is it easy to revise? It is kind of easy to revise, but it is not really that efficient, right? So I can't give it 1, I'll give it 0.5. Going to the next method, that is Notion. So in Notion, what you're going to do is that you're simply going to write your questions, and there is this amazing toggle option. You can write the question first, and then you can use the toggle option to hide your answer. So this is an efficient way of active recall. For the rating of active recall, I'll give it 1. And space repetition, it is pretty decent. However, we'll have to go and work towards it. So I'll give it 0.5. And coming to time efficiency, not really. I will give it 0.5 because we will have to type it out. And if your typing speed is slow, then it is going to be really hard. It is going to take a lot of time. So it is not really that time efficient. Is it easy to revise? Absolutely yes. So it is like hard work at the start, but then it's going to be easy at the end. We have the last note-taking method, which is flashcards. Yeah, you might be wondering, Why the hell is he talking about flashcards in note-taking method? Because I am literally using flashcards as my note-taking method. You're going to create a question and behind that you're going to create the answer. And by this, it automatically indulges active recall. But then when we start using digital flashcard apps like Anki, this is just too good. The Anki algorithm will take care of the active recall on its own. It will take care of the space repetition on its own. So it is like the best of both worlds. And I have this complete playlist on Anki. So make sure you check them out once you complete this video. So active recall, absolutely yes, it is active recall. Space repetition, absolutely yes. The Anki algorithm will basically show you the particular question by the time you are about to forget a particular concept. So it is pure magic. Space repetition, 1 point. And time evasion, well, not really, because it is again going to take quite some amount of time. But I will still give it 0.5 because it is worth it. And the last, is it easy to revise? It is extremely easy to revise. You have the whole textbook in the form of flashcards. So once you come to revise it, it is going to be dead easy. So concluding every single method, Flashcards is winning the first position by 3.5 stars. Notion is gaining the second position by gaining 3 stars. Cornell Note-taking method is gaining the third position with 3 stars. And writing your own questions, 2.5 stars. And underlining and highlighting, 1.5 stars. So you know what to choose now. So I hope I don't have to say anything more. You probably know what you have to choose now. So this is my UAG. I wish it was AUG. But it is UAG, Ultimate Anki Guide. Here in this playlist I have talked everything that a medical student should know about Anki. So make sure you check them out. And this video talks about why notes are useless. I am completely against notes. The traditional note taking doesn't really involve the fundamental study techniques, that is active recall and space repetition. So make sure you check them out. And as always, thank you for watching. See you soon.